Hey guys, welcome back to the Struggleville 2 YouTube channel. The other day I had a viewer ask why I started posting Harbor Freight coupons, so I thought, well, that's a good video to put on the backup channel. You can answer that for him. And it actually starts out with me selling Harbor Freight coupons, so really awful with time, but I'm going to say probably 5 years ago. I was working at a hotel, making damn near minimum wage, absolutely awful pay, somewhere between $7 or $8 an hour, and I have always, ever since I was a teenager, sold on eBay. And I was still doing that while at the hotel, and the nice thing about that job, obviously not the pay was not the nice thing. There was so much downtime, you didn't have a lot to do most of the time, so I could do a lot of my eBay stuff at the hotel as far as listing and taking care of packages and stuff, not actually shipping them, but preparing them and different things like that. So I don't know how I ended up finding these Harbor Freight coupons, but I noticed that people were selling Harbor Freight coupons on eBay. And at that time, I just created a second account, and at first, all I wanted to do was build up feedback on that second account. If you've ever purchased on eBay, you look at somebody with no feedback or like 20 feedback, and people think they're sketchy. They just don't trust them. So I thought, wow, this is a way that I can build up a bunch of feedback and do it really cheaply. So since I was at a hotel, we got 20 newspapers every single day. And the weekend editions, also I think it was Wednesday, there was one day in the middle of the week, would get the coupon flyer from Harbor Freight in it. And there's probably, 10 to 15 coupons in every flyer, but then I have 20 copies of all of them. So I started selling them. I think it was $1.49 a piece and free shipping. And I would actually mail them to people. I had a bunch of envelopes and stamps and everything. But the fees are all percentage based. So you get a PayPal micropayments account, you pay 5 cents and 5%. But 5% of $1.50 is only 15 cents. Then you add that 5, so I was paying 20 cents in fees there. At the time, I think eBay was a 10% fee. It still kind of is, but there's more to it. So anyways, another 15 cents. I'm 35 cents, and then 40 cents or whatever a stamp was. I think I was making 50 cents a coupon, every one that sold. Somewhere close to that. But the nice thing was, so many people didn't just buy one coupon. They'd buy 5 coupons. They'd buy 10 coupons. Well, of course, then we're diluting the cost of the stamp over a bunch of stuff. So it didn't make a ton of money, but I was making, like, after taxes, $50 a day. So if I could go to work and make an extra 20 bucks every day by selling coupons, and there was tons that sold, I mean, I'd walk out with a stack of envelopes every night. It was a noticeable amount of money for me at that time. So after a while of doing that, I had a binder, like with football cards, the football card clear plastic sleeves. I had them all organized by the item number and then by date. So the ones that expired the soonest were at the front, the ones that expired, furthest out were in the back. And the quantities were always tons of them, because you guys know how much we see these same coupons over and over. So sometimes you would get the the air compressor, the 3-gallon hot dog or pancake air compressors that are always $39.99. I'd have 100 of those damn coupons. So worked out really well for building up feedback and giving me a little bit of extra money. But then eBay changed their policy for selling coupons. And again, this was years ago, so I don't know what the current policy is. But at one time, they limited how many you could sell in a month, and they just made a bunch of different changes. And because my real goal was to build up feedback, like the extra money was definitely nice, and I liked having that, I didn't want to risk losing either this backup account or my main selling account, because they're linked together, because I was making more money doing that than really working at the hotel, or kind of close. I guess it was 50-50, but I didn't want to risk my main account. So I stopped selling the coupons altogether, but I know there's a market for these damn things. Like, they are just selling like crazy. So I had my website, which at that time primarily focused on what my YouTube channel focused on back then, and it was selling on eBay, so giving people tips. I had a couple of eBay-related tools to help people sell things, and I thought, well, I'll just create another page for Harbor Freight stuff, and I'll start listing coupons there. And at the time, I was only listing the ones that came in the flyer in the newspaper, so it wasn't as robust as what I'm doing now, but it started getting a lot of traffic, and it was doing really well. From there, I started doing videos on YouTube talking about the Harbor Freight coupons and stuff, and it was all very popular. So it was just kind of a migration from selling them to just posting And now it's, it's videos and posting the ones that are in the monthly catalog and all the different emails and the newspapers and the ones that come in magazines. I have some magazine subscriptions where I don't read a word in the damn magazine. I open the magazine, go to the back where the Harbor Freight coupon is, get a razor knife, chop that out, throw the magazine away. I mean, I have the entire magazine subscriptions just to get the Harbor Freight coupons out of them. And then, if we want to take that a step further, how I got into posting these tool deals is, it's been about a year, actually. I think it was the beginning of September of 2018 is when I started posting the tool deals every single day. And today is September 17th. I have not gone a single day without posting something to my website. So it's been over 365 days. Now, it doesn't mean I'm spending 8 hours a day on it. Some days it's only 3 or 4 hours, but other days it's 12 hours, and it's a lot, man. It's a lot. People who think it's just, not work. Some people, if it's not physical labor, they don't recognize it as work, but I'm telling you, it's work. Anyway, I digress. That's not the point of the video. So at that time, Harbor Freight's coming out with all these new brands, which is on one side exciting, but then they're all really expensive. And I'm poor. I don't like spending a lot for tools. More so back when I worked at that hotel. Man, minimum wage sucks. But it gives you an incentive to not work for that shitty job anymore. Again, I'm getting derailed here. So, Harbor Freight builds their brand as being ridiculously cheap tools, right? Those new brands, no one can argue the ridiculously cheap tools part. Whether you like them or not, you cannot make the argument of cheap tools. And I just didn't like it because the cheapness, even if the quality wasn't always great, sometimes it's bad, but sometimes it's really good quality and a cheap tool, and it's like, damn, that's a home run. And that's what I liked about Harbor Freight. And I feel like, although they still have a lot of that stuff, their time and effort is not in the older brands, the older stuff. It's all focused on the new stuff, the more expensive stuff, all their marketing, all their more, all their money is in that stuff. And I feel like, and I felt like back then, that it was time to jump ship. And although I still buy stuff at Harbor Freight, and I still like it more or less overall, more good than bad, there's a lot of stuff I don't like about them, and, Amazon does have a ton of really good tools, like their brands you never heard of, but for instance, Tack Life. I rarely ever hear anyone complain about the quality of a Tack Life item they buy. Like, maybe they just don't tell me, but people are usually pretty good about bitching at me about all sorts of stuff. So I don't think they're just holding back. So they might not be the best tools in the world, but they're cheap. They're getting shipped to your door for free. And for a DIYer, homeowner, maybe even for professional use, they seem to be working out just fine, and people are happy with them. And when the channel started and I was talking about selling on eBay and everything, the whole purpose was helping people make money because it sucks being poor. And I've been selling on eBay. I think it was like 16. It was before PayPal started. I remember going out and buying money orders or going to the gas station to cash the money orders. Maybe you can only buy them from a gas station and go to the bank to cash them. Whatever it was, doesn't matter. I've been doing it forever, and my biggest bottleneck at that time wasn't the knowledge of how to do it. It wasn't the knowledge of best practices and policies and how to do it. My biggest problem back there was finding the inventory to sell enough to make a full-time income out of it. Well, later down the road, I figured that part out. So in one way or another, my channel from the start, even though it's covered different topics, has always been foremost trying to save people money on stuff. So, anyway, that's it. That is my story on how I got into posting Harbor Freight coupons. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like, subscribe for a subscriber. I'll see you next time.